paper 2. Okay, we're continuing with our paper 2. The questions that we're going to do, these are very important questions. Okay, they come very often in your exam, so you really want to ace them as much as you can. Okay, so this is a question, and the question says, show that the equation, you're given this equation, you're asked to show that it reduces to this. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you in very logical and simple terms so that you get how to do this. Okay, so here the first thing that you notice is that there is 3x here. It's a denominator. The other ones, they don't have any denominator really, so they have denominator 1. Okay, so you can actually think of it as x over 1 minus 3 over 1 equal to 5 over 3x. You can think of it like this. Okay, the reason I am writing these denominators is that you use the lowest common multiple. You use the lowest common multiple of the denominators to get rid of the fractions. Okay, you want your answer in this form. This form doesn't have any fractions in it, so obviously the first step that you're going to do is to remove fractions. Okay, so the way that you're going to do it is to multiply by the lowest common multiple. For 1 and 3x, the lowest common multiple is 3x, so you'd say x times 3x here. The divide by 1, I just put it for illustration purposes. Okay, otherwise it's not really necessary. Minus 3 by 3x, you're multiplying each and every term by 3x. And one way to, just a rule of thumb to know what I mean when I say term, anything that has that is separated by a sign, addition or subtraction, that is called a term. Okay, so for example, x minus 3 here, there's a minus in between, so this one is a term, this one is a term independent. Okay, so here what you do is you have to simplify. So here you get 3x squared minus 9x equal to 5. Okay, so here you have to transpose. This one has to go to this side here, and the only way that you can get to that side is by changing the sign. Okay, in essence you're just subtracting 5 from both sides. Here it becomes 0, here it becomes -5. Okay, so here shown, done. Okay, you've shown this. So the way that you did it again is you have to remove the fractions. You remove the fractions by multiplying by the lowest common multiple. Do a separate video for lowest common multiple of algebraic terms. Okay, and afterwards you just simplify. You put everything in one side and then you check, is it consistent with what I'm asked to show. It's very consistent down to the last detail, so obviously it's shown. Then you leave it like that. And then the next part asks you to solve this equation. You're supposed to give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, you're asked this one says it's an important guideline. You're told to put your answer to 2 decimal places. So the way that you do it is you're supposed to use the quadratic formula. In case you don't know the quadratic formula, just an overview, I'll give you. Okay, so whenever you have ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0 here, this one is called a quadratic equation. It's quadratic in the sense that this variable that we'll be having, the variable in this case, it's x. The highest power for x, it's actually 2, so it's x squared, that's the highest power. Okay, so there's a general formula that you use to compute the actual value of x directly. So here the formula is x equal to -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, like this, or divided by 2a. So -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, all of it divided by 2a. Remember that this division, it's running through this whole train here, this whole upper train. Okay, sometimes people make mistakes and then they just put it here. So here you're supposed to memorize this, but I'm sure sometimes you can get it in the formula booklet or at the back of your paper, depending on what paper you're writing. But I advise you to just know this. This is very general. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to identify what's A, what's B, and what's C for question. So our A is equal to A is the coefficient of x squared, just like in this term here. So it's 3. Our B is equal to -9. Remember, a number owns the sign to its left. If you're asked to identify the number, the coefficient of x, you actually have to check as well the sign. Here we didn't check any sign just because a number which does not have any sign, the sign is positive. Okay, so c is equal to -5. For the same reason, b is equal to -9. Okay, we have to check the number with the sign. It carries its sign wherever it goes. Okay, so this is it. And now we're going to substitute. So x equal to -b. So what I advise you to do is, you see where it says b, always use brackets when you're substituting. Always. It's easier. It's less confusing that way, and you won't get anything wrong. Okay. So here I'm going to substitute b again. So I'm going to put negative. I'm going to put in brackets again. Okay. So -4. In a, I'm going to put brackets again, and c, I'm going to for c, I'm going to put brackets again like this. Okay. Then you're asked to divide this whole thing here. You're supposed to divide it by 2 multiplied by a. A is equal to 3 like this. Okay. So here you get 9, negative and negative, you just get 9 here, square root of. Then here, if you want, you can punch it in a calculator directly, but I just advise you to condense it a little bit, so you get 81, then plus here. If it's too large, then you're allowed to use a calculator. Okay, just use a calculator directly. This one is supposed to give you 12 multiplied by 5. 12 multiplied by 5, it's equal to 60. Okay, so all this you have to divide it by 6. Okay, so here, okay, this one was 12. 12 multiplied by 5, you get 6. So we are on the right track. And then here, you get 6 like this. So afterwards, now you're just condensing. So you get 9 plus or minus. Then this one is 141. Okay, so square root of 141 over 6. So x equal to 9 plus square root of 141 all over 6, or 9 minus square root of 141 all over 6. Okay, so I don't know why I wrote 4 there. It's supposed to be 6. Okay, so x equal to, now you just have to check your calculator, then you punch. Okay, so you put your fraction mode, then 9 plus square root of 141 divided by 6 equal to, then you change it to a decimal, it becomes 3.4. It says 2 decimal places, so 3.48. Okay, or then you just edit on your calculator, just edit and put negative this time. Okay, and you get negative 0.48. Okay, so negative 0.48. And what I want you to do is, I want you to go on your calculator, just store this answer. Okay, just store it in maybe a or something. You go back to your equation, so you now say 2a squared, so it's actually 3a squared minus 9 alpha a minus 5. You're supposed to get 0. Okay, so I actually got 0. This is validation. Okay, it helps you to know whether you've done your working correctly or not. Okay, so that's it. You have to just, the second answer, what you do is you now go on your calculator and say 3 answer squared minus 9 open bracket answer minus 5 is equal to, if you get 0, then it's validation. It means that you're using the correct way. Okay, you substituted correctly, and you condensed down to your answer correctly. Okay, so let's quickly move to the next question. The next question, it's actually a part. So the next part, it says you were given this diagram, and ABCD, it's a cyclic quadrilateral. This is just a fancy way of saying all the sides of ABCD, they are on the circumference. So ABCD has 4 sides as well. So it's a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, and you're told that AB is produced to M. Okay, so AB. So AB is produced to M. Okay. So this one is essentially straight line. I don't know what happened with the editing here, but this one is essentially straight line. There's nothing fancy that you're not, there's nothing written here that's not indicated in this diagram. Okay, and you're asked to find BCD. Okay, BCD. Wherever you see I always advise people wherever you see this one is a diameter. Always remember that this one has to be a right angle. Okay, so diameter, the angle formed from the diameter at the circumference, it's always 90 degrees. Okay, commit that to memory. It will help you out. And then almost always the first question, it's either it's very simple to compute, or it's something that you can know immediately. Okay, so don't strain yourself. It's usually 1 mark as well. So you're asked on the item 2, find ABD. Okay, so ABD, this angle here is the angle which is required. So I advise you here, now you have 90 degrees, you have 40, so you can complete this triangle here. So this triangle would need 50 degrees. If you want to do it the faster way, you'd say 90 is taken already, so you're left with 90 for this triangle BCD. So 90 minus 40, you're left with 50, such that when you add all of them, they give you 180. And another way to do it is to say 90 plus 140, then you get 130. Then you say 180 minus 130, then you get 50. Okay, once you get 50 here, you say plus uh, so A, B, D. So you're calculating A, B, D like this. It's equal to, so A, B, D, it's equal to 180 degrees on this straight line here. Okay, minus, you're subtracting 70 degrees. You're also subtracting 50 degrees here. These angles, they're already taken, and you want to know what's the remaining angle here. So this one, 70 plus 50, you actually get minus 120. So minus 70 minus 50, you get minus 120. Then 180 minus 120, you get 60 degrees. Okay. So when you say 60 plus 70 plus 50, yeah, you actually get 180. Okay, so this one would be 60 degrees. So that's it for this question. So we're going to continue with our paper. We have a very interesting question on vectors. Okay, so stay tuned for that. It's going to upload on the following day as this one. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Yuba out.